We are live, people. We are live. Welcome to East Meets West, guys. Yo, shout out to everybody who joined us on Friday for our special edition of East Meets West, man. With our very special guest that we highlighted, our chemist, and a special shout out to Thoro who joined us. That was the first time, his first appearance at East Meets West, and his first full appearance. And Mr. Lett and Josh for joining us too on that show, man. That was an awesome topic. We got to highlight some artists. I like to do different things like that in our channel. Me and Gomez, we'll talk. We'll switch it up. We like to bring artists, people who used to be on the on YouTube before, you know what I'm saying, collect and influence other people, you know what I'm saying. And today we have a guest like that. So definitely stay tuned for that. But right now, man, I'm here with my broski, man. We got Gomez.
Yeah, I'm very pumped for this this Sunday show. This person that we're bringing on, he's like a pioneer to me, as well as the person last week we had as a guest. This guy was basically started to do videos, and I'm humbled to bring this guy. I guess I'm pumped. I'm happy all the time, but I'm kind of more awake today. I got my 8 hours of sleep, so I'm good. I'm ready to roll. I'm doing this. This is like I said, with my broski right next to me. I'm enjoying this every Sunday. This is my church. I used to go misa all the time with grandma, and if I can miss it, and I'll be okay. I'll be good. So the Lord still loves me. So listen. So yeah, I'm pumped, ready to get this rolling.
Yo, broski, and a special shout out, man, because I know it was the wifey's birthday this weekend. Yeah, so shout out to the wifey, man. Happy birthday, bro. All right. Yeah. Definitely. I know you worked how many days straight, and you took.
I think it was 24 days without a day off. I'm a Mexican, like I said before, and I love it. I'm happy at work. Everybody be frowning down, working 5 days straight. I'll be working times 5. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It's life, and it gets me the books that I love and enjoy to read. If I can't read them now, I'll read them in the future. But happy to have them in my PC. So when you see me with a bundle list of books, it's not because I'm out buying everything. I'm out to collect certain runs, certain keys, and certain lots that I've enjoyed me as a collector. So be on the lookout of a few hauls. That's why I collect what I collect and do what I do, and that's why we're doing this show today too as well.
Definitely, man. I will get to the chat in a sec, but real quick, let me give a shout out. I want to give a shout out to Roger Levesque from Three Men in the Basement, who had his special guest earlier. I think it was at 6 o'clock earlier. Pressable Defects was on it. Cranky Canadian, man. So shout out to them guys. And then super shout out to Wink Inc., man. Without him, man, I just hit 900, man, 900 subs. So definitely shout out to Wink Inc., man. If you're not following him, I don't know what y'all not doing, man. You're doing something wrong, bro.
He comes up with like energy. This is the company guy.
Yeah.
Be rhyming and grinding like pump. Like he'd be like, let's do this.
Yo, listen, man. Like I say, he's corporate, but like he's really like he's always with the tie. He's straight up business, and guy's a straight up cool dude, man. If you know, I got to know him behind the scenes. I got to know him, on live and stuff like that through chats. So great dude, man. Shout out to you, Wink Inc. for that, and super shout out to Thoro too. That was on his show too, man. Super shout out to you, Thoro, man, for that too. And then after us at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern, guys, definitely tune into the Pressable Defects. Yeah. All right, guys. That bunch of cool dudes over here from New York.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And their special guest is gonna be Very Gary. And everybody knows Very Gary, man. On IG. Yep, Very Gary and IG is, straight up a dope dude, man. I met him in cons, and so definitely give that show a check out, man, after this. Definitely. So let me go to the chat real quick and then introduce my guest, because I know my guest is like, hurry the fuck up. So I got you, man. Yo, but real quick, man. Let me highlight the chat, man. First one was Mike the Collector, Johnny Dakota, all the way from Canada, man. Shout out to you, Paul Boy Jeffrey. What's going on? DLE Comics, Mike Eckham. What's going on? Cyborg Dad, T-Pain, Deadpool's Zach G, and yo, Josh, I got you. I'm gonna see your invite. I've been busy a little bit trying to prep up, but I got you, Josh, no doubt. Who else is here? Hack, yo. If y'all not subbed up to Hack, follow him, man. Follow my IG, man. He has a great IG page. He got a page where he sells books. Great deals. Last week, great deals. He has some dope books on his IG page, and he had like 25% off, his deals. So sub him up and follow him on IG, guys. Definitely. Who else is in here? Wilbur's in here. We got 69 Chop Shop. What's going on, bro? Kevin Bixby's in there. Chad Fisher. What is going on, Chad? Yes, Patrick Wall, Nick. the other Nick G. What's going on, Nick? Who else is in here? We got man from Beantown, the Doom. Yes, yes. And then we got Biggs, the big brother, man. What's going on, Biggs? Great to have you in the chat there, Biggs. I hope you're feeling better, bro.
For real. Yeah, I was about to say, hope you're
doing better, brother. And Los Cali is in the house. And then we got Uncle Roman in the building in the chat. Yo, Broski gets it. Yo, he said gets it. What's up? I don't get it. What's up?
Who knows my broski? We go way back.
Deep dive comics. What's going on? And Philly Born, what is up, man? What's up, fellas? Yes. All right, man. All right, so let me get straight up to my guest, man, and then I'm gonna leave it to Gomez to ask him his questions and stuff like that. Right now, I'm gonna introduce this dude, man. A great dude, stand-up dude. I've been with him on auctions. He's been on my auctions. And whenever he's on, man, they're straight up fire. And this man right here is the king of promos on IG. That's what I gotta say. All right, man. So definitely, man, let me introduce, man, none other than the Doom 143, man. Welcome, man.
How's it? Thanks for having me, man. This is awesome. You know what is awesome about this? This is just a podcast, you know? Yes. You don't have to worry about selling books, nothing. We could just talk shit. Just talk comics. Just talk shop. And yeah, it's been a while since I've been on one of these. So thanks for having me, man.
No, of course, anytime.
Definitely. And if y'all guys are new to YouTube or y'all not aware of the Doom, shout out to him and his crew, the 9.2 crew. Very entertaining guys back in the day, man. A little sad that they don't really connect and they don't because the scheduling is different and stuff like that and do shows more often. Right. It is. But definitely miss those shows. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, the 9.2 crew originally started, I think I had a 700 sub contest. Yes. And what happened is that Alex was trying to help me out go on live. So we did the contest, and then Alex is all like, yo, I think we got like something going on. What do you want to do a podcast and stuff? And I was telling him about this podcast that I used to watch all the time. And first of all, thanks for all the nice words, by the way. Yeah, so we were doing like he's all like, let's do a podcast. I said, yo, if we do a podcast, I want to do it where we're educating the community and we can have like educationally back and forth conversations. I said so what happened is we used to watch people like Unpressable Defects, not pressable, but it was unpressable. It was on CBSI. And there was a bunch of podcasts going on. I forget what they're called, but they had one with, you remember like Spider Grandpa?
Yeah, I remember.
Right? Okay, so they had one. I think some of the OG guys, and definitely the New York Warriors had one. They were a huge inspiration on us as well. Kind of just not ripping the New York Warriors off, but just trying to see how they did things and what looked good, what made sense, and what can we do either the same or maybe should we go another route. But one that was really inspiring to us was like the Unpressable Defects on CBSI. Yeah. And one thing they did is they always tried to like constantly educate. But one thing they didn't do was get involved with the chat. So we were starting to realize, okay, if you get involved with the chat and get involved with the people that's trying to get into this conversation, if we can do that successfully and educate, then I think we could have something. And I think that's basically what happened is we started to develop this culture where we're like, okay, what can we talk about that's going to help the community out? You know what I mean? Kind of get your mind thinking. And it was good because sometimes people didn't, people didn't agree with us. Yeah. You know, and that was like the best. It was a whole like 180 versus 181 kind of conversations. Those are always the best conversations. You know what I mean? And so yeah, it was a good time. So we wanted to bring on people like Master X. I don't know if he's really doing videos anymore, but that guy knows so much. It is crazy. Every single key, he doesn't need the key collector app. Like he knows everything. And so that was nice to have. And then I told him, and I told Alex, the comic hoarder at the time, we got to bring on this guy, Freddy's, because this guy knows like all these books that no one really knows, you know, like
He had a big variant. He was variant key when it came with Freddy.
It wasn't so much variance with Freddy's, and it wasn't so much variance. It was about like these books that people really didn't even think about. So, like for example, Heavy Metal, the magazine, came out with a bunch of stuff that had art germ covers on it.
What's up, Josh?
What's up, Josh?
What up, Josh?
And they had like a heavy metal, and they had like art germ covers on it. You know what I mean? Or Batman. Yeah. I think there was like a Batman Lobo, like really hard to find variants things. Mm-hmm. So we wanted to give people information on these books that people maybe not even know existed. So yeah, it was that, and then Seeking Near Miss was just added. He was just added on from Alex. And yeah, so the reason Alex wanted to add Seeking Near Miss is because he said, "Hey, isn't this guy from Hawaii?" And he goes, "You're from Hawaii. Why don't we add Seeking Near Miss?" I was like, "I don't really know the guy. He's cool, but yeah, we can add him on." Yeah, that's how we got the crew. And like you were saying, the reason we kind of split up really is because Seeking Near Miss moved to Seattle. Master X started to going to college, and but yeah, it was fun, man. It was really a lot of hard work. We tried to collaborate with people like 789 comics.com, and we just wanted a discount code. We're like, hey, there's a huge YouTube community out there. If you give them a discount code, you know, they might support you. You know what I mean? Then you're I was like, if you give them a discount code, they'll probably support you. And they're like, you know what? We'll do one step better. We'll give you guys a bunch of variants. I didn't know that they were like connected with Frankie's Comics. Frankie's Comics is one of the guys that actually comes out with the banging freaking variants all the time.
Yeah.
And that was during a time that store exclusive variants was kind of like the hot thing.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the people now and in the community, we kind of take a step back when it comes to store exclusives.
Yes.
Yeah. I think so many of us got burnt from them.
Yeah, I did.
I did. And I think one of the biggest ones was like that Matina cover, the Joker, the Dark Metal.
Yeah, Dark
Metal. And so there's some good stuff out there, but yeah, it's just things happen, and 9.2 crew just kind of we're still friends. We still talk. In fact, I just chatted with Freddy's. It's just
real quick, man. Yo, what's up, Thoro, man? What's going on, brother?
Hey, what's going on, my man? Yo, shout out to everybody on here. Broski, what's going on, my man? The Doom 143, you know, I got to give him the chew, even though he don't do it. I had to hit him with that, you know, but yeah, what's going on, Josh? I was just on with Wink, so that's why I'm running a little bit behind.
I was about to say, what channel do you have to go on after this?
Nah, me? No, nobody, man. As you know, I came on here for the Joker, you know, first time on here, so glad to be here.
Well, second time actually, man. Your first appearance was on Friday.
Well, say yeah, that's right. Never mind. Second. Well, that was the cameo. Is the first appearance of my cameo. So my cameo was there. Yeah, now this is my first full appearance of my cameo. You know how that shit goes. It's all over the place.
Well, appreciate you here, man. Yo, Josh, I think something wrong with your mic. I haven't heard you yet. Am I bugging or?
No, I didn't hear him either. No.
Yeah, I don't hear you, bro. You can hear him?
Oh, you're good. Yeah.
Charlie.
I just play.
Charlie Chaplin over here.
Yo, but yes, definitely was a great show on Friday, like I said before, and definitely guys had Roman still music. Josh, keep rolling. And yo, Gomez, I know had a couple questions for the Doom, so I'm gonna give it to Gomez, man.
Yeah, no, like I said before, like I've originated based on the Doom 143. I did his 700 sub contest a few years back, and that's what made me start a video. If you look at that video, like I said on Friday, my video was straight from my camera before I upgraded. You know, so when I looked at him, when I seen his comment based on my haul video, I was ecstatic. I'm not gonna lie. You know, being a person under 15, 16 subs. And to see him comment about my energy and about my video, it was like a blessing to me. Then, and I look up to a lot of pioneers as well as bigs, but we said a lot.
Definitely had a lot of fucking energy. Bro.
Can you hear me now?
And
I swear this guy used to do a line right before he went and did a haul. Dude.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yes.
good.
There you go, Josh.
I swear, like Gomez used to be like, and then press record.
That's what I loved about Gomez though, with his positive energy. He was always hype, man. He got me excited to watch his videos, and I like that, man.
You're excited now.
Yeah.
It was a damn wrestling promo, man. That was the first time I seen Gomez. I was like, yeah, this dude needs to be a wrestler.
And I'm the loudmouth of the family. I'm the loudmouth of the joint, but it's all good. I'm always trying to stay on point, do what I do, and just keep going with the crew, you know. And what I was gonna ask Doom is, what made you collect comics? Like I know I've seen videos of, but I want to know like what started you off, like picking up a comic and deciding, you know what, I want to start collecting these. I want to start collecting these comics, these characters, these first appearances, these variants. What originated you basically? Since the panel, most of the panel don't know about you in your life and how you became a collector in comics.
Yeah, so I think comic collecting, there's like two parts, right? And I think a lot of us has this, right? We have that time when we're collecting as a kid, and I think that was probably the more joyful part. I think it's more stressful now as an adult. But you have the collecting part when you were a kid, and you have the collecting part as an adult. So when I was a kid, basically what happened is, if you guys know Hawaii, there's like 8 islands on the chain, right? So I used to live on one island, and I moved to another island. We moved in with my grandma. Now, my grandma did not change my dad's and brother's room since the 60s. So it was completely the same. And apparently my uncle used to read comics. I didn't know this. And I guess back in the days, what they used to do, the shops, they used to cut the comic covers in half. And then they used to send half of that cover back to the the people and they would get like money back for comics that didn't sell. So, but what they used to do with those comics when they cut them in half to cover is that they used to give those out for free to the kids. Okay. So apparently my uncle used to collect like a bunch of that, or just to have something to read.
That's dope.
The room was set up where there was my dad's bed, there was a nightstand in the middle, and then there was my uncle's bed. Right, when they used to sleep when they were kids, and right in the middle of that nightstand had a stack of comics. I had this whole room to myself as a child, and basically just had all these comics to myself. And I guess my uncle was into war comics, but he had one comic, and I think it was like a superhero comic. It was like Captain Marvel, not the misses, but the
original.
Yeah, the original, or Marvel, if we want to get technical about it. And so that's what I started doing. I started reading that. So then, to give you a history about me, I'm 45 years old. I turned 45 this year. So that means I'm an 80s baby. I'm a 90s, kind of growing up. Yeah. So the great thing about the 80s, late 80s, and all of the 80s was cartoons. Yeah. You used to have just Thundercats and G.I. Joe and freaking Transformers. You had that the cars that used to fly. I forget what they're called. Silverhawk. You had all of these superhero just shows going on. Batman, Adam West, the series from back in the day. So you had I was constantly surrounded by this as a kid, and we don't have internet at that time. That wasn't a thing. And cable was like basically a brand new thing as well. So if you didn't have cable, so you only used to watch whatever you had. So basically I was kind of constantly surrounded by superheroes. You also got to remember during that time, comics was everywhere, not just comic shops. They were in drugstores, they were in supermarkets, they were everywhere. So as a kid, you used to see these things. And for some reason I gravitated towards strong men. I don't know why. I used to like Superman, and as far as X-Men, I like Colossus.
Okay.
I didn't like Wolverine and all of this stuff. For some reason, I like Colossus. Like Colossus was the guy.
Tall, strong man.
Yeah, just tall, strong man. So anyway, you know what? I figure if I come out,
Yo, yes.
Yo, you just digging that whole finger, bro.
You're walking a slippery slope right now.
I'm just gonna pause it for you for the remainder of this story.
I love it. No, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, we get it.
Yeah. So anyway, so as a kid, collecting and buying comics and all of that stuff, and I bought everything for the cover. So when there was a comic shop and they did have back issues, everything was based on cover. I didn't know anything about what is a first appearance, whatever. I would go through the covers and I would see like a cover with like a huge action scene, and that would be like the thing that I would gravitate towards. And I think that's why maybe I still like covers now. Like I'm still kind of into like variants and all that stuff. Anyway, fast forward. I'm not doing comics, right? I'm into girls, thankfully.
Yeah, we all know. Yes.
Good save, bro. Good save.
I'm into girls. I entered the military, all of this stuff, right? Try to be a real man. and then what happened was my biggest thing that I was into, I was like a DJ for a while, like a radio DJ. And I stopped being a radio DJ, and I was actually like a DJ, like a party DJ, right? So I was really into music at one point. And so one day I'm listening to radio, and there's this rap going on, and this song is with Dr. Dre, and I'm like, who the F is this? And they're like, oh, it's this new guy. His name is Eminem. And I'm all like, I was like, dude, I'm like, this guy is fucking killing it. Like whoever's, because as a DJ, as a radio DJ and a regular DJ, even though I like beats, one of the things I used to always keep mindful of was lyrics. And lyrics was always my biggest thing. So when somebody could actually have lyrics with a sick ass beat, I do love the beat. So when somebody had lyrics mixed with a dope ass beat, I was really into it. So I was all like, who's this guy? And they're like, oh, it's Eminem. Anyway, fast forward, blah, blah, blah. I'm an Eminem fan. There's a lot of gay shit right now I'm talking about.
Oh, good, man. Hey, listen.
Anyway, so I like Eminem as a musician. I like Eminem as a musician. And one day he's on Facebook and he goes, hey, I'm going to be on the cover of this particular comic. And it's on an Iron Man comic. So I'm not buying comics or whatever, right? So I know I live like a mile away from this comic shop. And I go, yo, do you guys have this comic with Eminem on it? There's like Eminem and Iron Man. And I don't know what's going on. I guess it's his original house that he lived in the background. I was all like, do you guys have this? And they're like, yeah, we have it. I was like, can you hold it for me? And they're like, oh, we don't hold. And, I don't go to comic shops at this time. And I'm like, what do you mean you don't hold? I'm a customer. I'm calling you. Can you just hold it for me? Right? And they're like, no, we can't hold it. But if you can come here in the next 10 minutes, we'll keep it on the side. So I get in my car and I'm speeding down. I just wanted to grab two things that was a huge impact for me as a child. One was comics and now is music. Mm-hmm. Right? So I go down to the shop. It's and they tell me it's $25. But I'm like, on the cover it says $5.99. Now you remember the last time I bought comics, I used to buy stuff at cover price. So now when they're telling me that this comic book is $25, they go, oh, it's a variant. It's a 1 in 25, so it's $25. No. And I was all like, what are you guys talking about? It's right here on the cover. It says $5.99 or whatever it is, $3.99. Anyway, long story short, I bought it anyway, right? Yeah. And as I go to the comic shop and I'm looking around, I'm like, oh, I remember this shit. And they had one book on the wall, and it was for $60. It was a G.I. Joe #1. And I remember that book because when I first started collecting comics, there was a comic shop with G.I. Joe #1 on the wall, and it was $100 back in the 80s. And I was like, damn, that is so cool. Like the first appearance of G.I. Joe, but I don't have $100, right? But then I see it, and I'm all like, wait, it's $40 less now. So things didn't, like I'm trying to figure out all of these things. And at this time, I was also doing a lot of stocks. So I was doing a lot of stock trading. That was kind of more of my investment side. So I do a lot of short-term and long-term investing. And that's where I was at as far as like making money on the side and stuff. But yeah, that's how I got into collecting. Was actually Eminem. I got back in, and I started off doing reads, and then I met people. And then what made it grow was I typed in on YouTube, like just like collecting comics, and then people like Omega Shin Ryu Ken came up. There was another one that was a big one. I think Mercenite came up. And do you remember the other one that was just as popular as Omega Shin?
Omega Shin, Lightning.
Lightning.
Yeah.
Lightning. So Omega Shin and Lightning was like my huge thing, and I was all like, "Wow, this is really fucking dope!" Like they have guys out here making videos, and then slowly started to realize, "Oh shit, there's a community." Because if you check the comments, there's other people, and it's consistently the same people making comments. Mm-hmm. So you start to realize, wait, there's a YouTube comic community out there.
Yeah.
You know? And I was all like, well, let me subscribe to fucking everybody. So I started subscribing to everybody. Next thing you know, Longshanks and Weapon X and Biggie's. I don't know if it was called Home of the New York Warriors at the time, but I remember
that was Biggie's Comics. It was Biggie's Comics.
Biggie's Comics, Manny NYC, and just started subscribing to everybody. And you know what? It started to make me realize that kind of that's kind of how we actually all got together, because we just decided one day to Google something on YouTube.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is that made you decide to type in comic collecting or whatever on YouTube, but that was the one thing that I feel like a lot of people, that's how we got it.
Yeah.
And that's why I love the community, because like it's stronger than ever. Like, yo,
especially now.
And you know me and strong men. I mean,
they call you good. They tell you
big strong man.
No, that's true though. That's what grew here. It's like it's a round-based community that it's all positiveness. You know, we'll shoot the shit and joke around, and have fun, but at the end of the day, we respect each other's collection and the way we collect. We don't judge nobody. We're out here to have fun and share knowledge. And that's one thing that I see what he was mentioning, all those people, is they're sharing knowledge. And then when the Doom came out, that was one of the guys that I first watched that shared a lot of knowledge and helped me out. And that's why like I said, I'm pumped to the fact that having you here back to back, Biggs and then you. It's just and then Thoro right next to it, who's a guy who collects a lot of comics as well that I never knew of, that I've watched consistently whenever he showed his hauls or talk. He knows a lot of knowledge too, and he's some guy that came up that hasn't been around as long, but grew because of his knowledge. And see, it shows that knowledge, like you, the Doom 143 and Thoro, that you guys having this knowledge brings people back, because these are knowledge that I don't have time. You seen in the beginning, I worked numerous days in a row. So for you guys sharing that knowledge, it helped me from having to go through my spare time to look for that knowledge. And when I watch you guys, it helps me become a better collector and smarter collector when it comes to finding the right books of what I want to collect.
Yeah, and I think that's why I don't know what you guys call it now. They call it trolling, or not trolling. What is it called? When you're behind the scenes but you don't say nothing, you're just lurking.
Lurking.
And I think what you don't realize is that there's a lot of people lurking, not for negative reasons, but it's because they're in the. So when I first started watching YouTube, I never made a comment.
Me too.
I never used to do good haul. I never used to do congratulations. Like I used to just watch, and then I'm literally like writing shit down. Like, what is this Iron Fist? What is this? What is this? You know? And I'm just watching, and then so that's why for people that used to talk to me about like YouTube and stuff like that, I was all like, you can't. Well, this was just my personal opinion, but I was all like, try to be as educational as possible, because you have lurkers that's why they're here. They're here to learn. You know, during the auction, nobody's here to learn. That's fine. You know, they just want to buy books. But you know, there's people that's just like, they don't know how to collect and they don't know what to collect.
Yes.
So you know, try to be the most when you do your videos, really try to give as much education as possible. And I think that way the community grows and it gets stronger and all of that stuff. So
it's definitely true, man. Definitely true, because you see that's how I started off too. I used to watch a lot of the guys. I watched you, including, because I always forever remember your Thanos, George Perez in the background. You know, and that's how I remember Doom all the time. And I never saw his face. I always was like watching. And then whenever I went on lives, you know, it's like I told the Warriors, first time I watched them, I was like, I watched them on an auction. Never wanted to buy books from them because I was like, yo, these look like the motherfuckers from New York that want to take your money. So I was like, you know, yeah, I'm not buying nothing. So I kept watching for a while and never said anything either, because, you know, that's the majority of new collectors. You know, they don't want to sound dumb. They don't want to sound stupid when they make a comment and say, you know, something where it's like, you know, whatever along the lines of like, oh yeah, you know, that Spider-Man did this in that book or something. And, you know, they want to come off and be like, man, these guys know their shit. So I don't want to fuck up. So that's majority of the reason too why, yeah, definitely there is a lot of lurkers. There's a lot of people watching that won't comment yet until they start feeling comfortable, and then they're like, you know what, I got to start. That's how it began for me. And the very first time I ever commented was on the New York Warriors channel. And then after that, I was like, all right, let me buy a book. You know, maybe if there's a $20 book or something, let me see if I get it from them. You know, and then that was it. That was the first time. Yeah. And then after that, I think I bought who the hell did I bought from Joker? It was from Joker. That was the first. Yeah. That was the first time I bought something major. That was the first time I bought something big. And then I was like, damn. I was like, yo, I hope this dude sends me, because I was like, I'm gonna go fucking hunt for him in the fucking Bronx, because he said he's in the Bronx. And so it was, you know, it's hard, you know, but once you build a reputation for yourself and people start watching, you know, like I said, so many guys out there that had so many channels, and a lot of the guys that are no longer here anymore, because there are people that I haven't seen, you know, in quite a long time. And, you know, life takes over you. You know, you never know when your day is up here on YouTube, because a lot of folks are like, you know what, this is a lot of shit. Like, for example, when I'm doing speculation videos and shit, you know, I spoke with Doom, you know, for quite a while last time. And, you know, it's a lot of fucking work, man. It is a lot. There's so much information constantly fed all across every freaking second. It's not even funny. Like, just how much info comes out.
This is why I appreciate you Thoro and Josh coming through, because you know, y'all not new, but y'all been here for, you know, what, like a year, Thoro, right?
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah.
So that's and you know, you do your spec stuff. So definitely my man the Doom was the spec guy from back in the day. You know what I mean?
That's who I used to watch. I used to watch him because of that.
Yeah. So you know how it goes full circle is just is dope and amazing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. And go ahead, Thoro. I'm Gomez.
No, and that's what I want to bring up too with Doom is, you know, if you ever get a chance, make a video, because I know there's a lot of people that would watch. And I know I heard you one time say, why do a video when everybody else is doing it already? Still, they don't do it like you do. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where it's different, because your knowledge could be something that they missed. Like Doom said.
I see what you're saying. Not everybody watches ESPN. Sometimes they watch Fox News Sports.
Correct.
I mean, I see what you're saying. And, you know, so, I mean, that's why I think it's okay to have different podcasts or different people that say the same thing, because I kind of reference it like a cable, right? Like, there's people that gravitate towards ESPN. There's people that gravitate to Fox News Sports, right? You're not going to get all the information. You're not going to get all the information if you just watch ESPN. So, I mean, I could make a video. And there's times that I thought about it, but it's just, I mean, what do you call it? Just things just take over and you get, but what it is, I guess what my biggest thing is just trying to see the new people in the community. And again, this is exactly what you're saying, but I was looking at all the new people in the community and the information they were giving. And I was all like, I mean, it's spot on. I don't really need to do anything because all these new guys are doing exactly what they need to do. But I see what you're saying. I was going
to say, you do that. Okay, everybody throws IG auctions, right? You do the live auction, Joker's auction. You do it your way. And people be rolling. Everybody's doing the same thing, but when you did it your way, everybody's laughing at that shit because you know the editing, the little commentary. I watched one of yours. I can't remember which one was, but the guy's doing 45, 35, and then you have Jokers in the background, and And that one had me blow.
They got you trouble at work.
That's one thing that I said. Like someone else might say it, but you might say it differently. That will catch someone's eyes.
Yeah. I think. Yeah, and there's some other shit that was going on in the YouTube comic community that I was just like I was getting tired of, and it actually has nothing to do with people in the community. There's usually a group of people that's in the comic community, but they're also outside of the community. I don't know how to explain it. Not to name drop, but like people like Comic Tom 101. And so they're like in the community, but kind of like set outside of the community.
Yeah.
Like their own, so there's some stuff. And it just kind of got me tired of just like listening to certain things. And again, like I said, not to name drop, but that's kind of was part of it too. Cause I felt like there's a lot of these people that was fucking with our community.
Yes.
Like when you buy like a mystery box for somebody like that, and they're all like, I'm part of the community, and then they sell you a mystery box that's trash.
Yes.
They're fucking with my community, fucking with my family, And that's why I was getting kind of pissed off at that point too, because
it's hard for we have heart in collecting comics, and the people we talk to them and see them get burned. It's kind of like our family, like you said. And
one person getting burned is fine. That's a mystery comic. But when almost everybody in your community is getting burned, and then some of the information that you're getting, that people are getting burnt, because they respect certain people. Anyway, so that's kind of part of the reason why I was kind of like, you
take it personal, man, because
because it was part of my community. It's like it's my family. So when somebody says "fuck the comic community," I was like, "What?
Who says fuck the comic community?"
Oh, there's been people. I'm not saying there is.
There's haters everywhere.
Yeah, it's all over the place. So.
And anyway, and then all of a sudden my son is turning into this golf prodigy, so that kind of took a lot of time.
But I mean, listen, your personal things, family stuff, always gets the number one priority, definitely. I mean, but I want to highlight my man, the art chemist, right now. He says specking is new to me, and man, fun. It's like news, team checking, and what's right and what's wrong, and that's kind of like something that reminds me of Thoro and you Doom, and even Josh too, because Josh is into that too. So definitely specking, for people who's new to specking, like what's your advice, man? What's your advice to them? I'm gonna start off with Thoro. Let's start off with Thoro.
Just do it, man, because the biggest thing is just freaking try to do it and stay within what you know. Like I just recently did the whole virus thing. Why? Because I grew up on Venom. I grew up, that was a character for me that I enjoyed, that I loved. And this is why I broke it down. I broke it down to where, yes, speculation. Everybody has to remember what the meaning of speculation is. Anybody can do it. Whoever's in the chat, you can do it all day long. It's, it's not, you're going to be 100% right. Yes. Are you going to get certain speculation right? Yes. Are you going to get certain speculation wrong? Yeah, that's a part of speculating. You're not going to be 100% perfect. The biggest thing is that you have to go off the material. If you know something, go off of it. That's the reason, like for me, for example, for Virus, when I was saying, hey, this is who I think it is. It's Eddie Brock's father. All right. And I gave a whole little like history lesson as to why, Eddie's father, Carl, was, could possibly be Virus, because he literally loathes his son, and people were saying, hey, why can't he possibly, why is he going to kill Dylan? You got to remember, it reminds him of Eddie. So you got, you know what I mean? So you got to think about all these different things. And if you're reading something, and you know a lot about it, then hey, go for it. But if you're just randomly just going off of what one person said over here, another person said over there, it's like it's not going to make sense, because you're going to fuck up somewhere around along the line. And it's like I said, it's easy to do, but it's a lot of fucking work. And for me, every time that I see anything, or I start going, like I go all over the place, because I've had people tell me, oh, Wikipedia is not a great place. For example, Key Collector, fucking bozo. That's one of the guys. I'm gonna say that shit all day long, and I keep it real, man. I don't give a damn. And he tried to throw shots at me and say, yo, Wikipedia isn't. But I was like, yeah, Wikipedia is exactly like your damn app. You got to update it, right? And that's what they do on Wikipedia. They update it on a consistent basis. So one of the biggest things is, like I said, you have so many resources. Like I said, for me, I said the Key Collector app is a damn tool. So is everything else around it. You know, everything that that you have at your reach. You have Google. You could Google up everything, and it's all about time. Right now, I have the time. You know, I spend time with the family. I try to do that as much as possible, and then I spend time for my comic book stuff. And then I just read, and I go back through. Man, literally, I went back through Venom from the beginning just to try to get everything down packed and be like, okay, here's my reasonings as to why I believe this. And like I said, everybody and anybody could do it, bro. It doesn't really take a genius to freaking do it, because you could remember something and something hits you off. Like, there's more stuff that I already have in my head already, just circling, just because of this one panel in this latest issue of Venom, and that's gonna be the next video coming up. So stay tuned for that one, because I'm literally people are gonna be like, damn, it's like people were getting on my ass about Puerto Rican group. I gave you the reason. I gave you the issue. I gave you the whole reason of Puerto Rican Groot. Everybody's hitting me with Puerto Rican Groot now. And like, yo, Puerto Rican Groot. So that's one of the biggest things. But yeah, there's no wrong way of going around spec, man. And in the end, don't ever, like I said, don't lie to yourself either, because FOMO is a real motherfucker, man.
Yeah.
No matter what anybody says, and they'll be like, oh yeah, I don't collect that character. Next thing you know, they're like, I want this new Batman because Robin King is coming out. So it's like, don't fucking lie to yourselves, because we all do it. I've admitted to it. Like I said, I do it.
Have you seen where that freaking Metal Legends book is out now?
Yeah, the 1 in 25.
The card.
Yeah, dude, that shit is.
That thing hasn't even come out yet, yo.
No.
And it's actually between that and Dark Metal 3, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Dark Metal 3 actually has a cover, and it's a nice one. Federico or something.
Federici.
Yeah, that and yeah, that fucking jeez, yo.
Somebody was asking for $1,500, bro. $1,500 for one of them. I was like, you're freaking out of your mind.
And you know what's the sad part? That somebody will pay that. Somebody will pay that. That's the sad part.
The FOMO. I remember Master X was the first person that introduced me to that word FOMO, and he was like fear of missing out, and I was all like, it's so fucking real. And sometimes you can be a part of the problem as a speculator when you do this stuff.
Yeah, big time.
But I think, like for Thoro, for example, he's gonna give you a spec that he has. He's not saying go fucking run to eBay and fucking pick that shit up in the next 5 minutes, because if you don't, you're gonna lose out. Now, maybe Thoro has a way of saying it that makes you want to get it, but Thoro will always say this: you gotta do your own homework.
Yes.
You have to do your own, because if Thoro's all like, yo, Batman's gonna die in the next X-Men movie, you better pick up this book. You know, like it has to make, like, you got to do your own homework. It has to make sense. Like, stuff has to make sense. And but the FOMO is real. FOMO is holy shit. Is that shit real?
Big time.
So yeah, I have a question now that we're talking about first appearances, right? Like that Robin King, which is the 1 in 25. That's the hot one. But technically, like you said, what is it? Dark Knight Metal 3 is the real first appearance.
No, I guess technically it is the 1 in 25 because it's coming out before the Dark Meadows. But what happened is the Dark Meadows was supposed to come out before the Marvel Legends. Marvel Legends, so stupid.
The Dark Knight Meadows.
Metal
Legends 3.
Dark Knight Legends.
But first of all, and I think Joker, you and I were talking about it. First of all, you got a first appearance, right? Supposedly, it's actually not a first appearance. It's actually like a first full appearance. I think the cameo was in Dark Metal 2 or some shit like that. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Kind of like cameo. So there's a first full. But on top of that, and I was talking to Joker, and I kind of showed Gomez a little bit, is the cover. The cover is hot. The cover is popping. It's freaking gorgeous. And from what I understand, there's not a lot of these ordered.
True first.
And it's true. Sometimes in the game, when it comes to first appearances, you know, exactly. When it comes to 180, 181 and stuff like that, it's kind of like the cover kind of determines more than what's the first appearance, right?
It's amazing because we talked about. We didn't talk about this, but I sent you guys this article.
The link. You sent me an article,
right. So we're talking about books like, and I'll just drop 3 books for example. You got New Mutants 86.
Yes.
You got Spider-Man 298, or if you want to say 299, whatever.
299.
And then you got Hulk 180. You got these 3 books that, in all technical purposes, they are a first appearance, right? And nobody denies that Hulk 180 isn't a first appearance. It literally says first appearance, but next to it says cameo.
Yeah.
And then 181 it says first full appearance.
Yeah.
And so, and the topic was, well, what makes the other book a lot more people want the other book? And they said it's the cover.
Yeah.
Look at Spider-Man 300 cover. Look at Hulk 181 cover, and look at New Mutants 87 cover. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it has them front and center. Well, not 300, but it has. It's a nice cover. I think the only exception was Fantastic Four 48 versus 49. 48 doesn't have the big boys on the cover. 49 has it.
Like this, yeah. It's Galactus.
Yeah, 48 doesn't have them, but 49 has them. But yet people went for 48.
Or 48.
Right. So it's such a weird environment that we're in.
Backwards.
And I mean, so I wanted you to take a look at a couple pictures because I thought it was interesting. But for most of us, I think we as collectors, we can kind of maybe just see it in our head. You guys see the last page of Amazing Spider-Man 299 in your head, right? So you got Venom right there, bam. Okay,
he's
big and bold. You got Hulk 180 right there, last page, boom, right there, Wolverine. Okay, and but these books are not the books. Okay, but if you check out that weak ass photo of Captain Marvel number 14 with Kamala Khan in the back, it's nothing. It's really nothing. But which is the book? Captain Marvel 14. And then on top of that, you have to make sure that it's the Amanda Connors variant, right? Because if it's not the variant, I mean, the regular one still goes for stuff, but it's the variant that people want. And so why not Captain Marvel 17 second print? Why is it still, you know what I mean? Exactly. So there's some inconsistencies. There's so many inconsistencies, but a lot of it just has to do with the cover. And I think we've said this back in the 9.2 crew. I was like, why does this happen? And they're like, oh, it's the cover. There's so much inconsistencies. Like, how come Cletus Cassidy's first appearance doesn't go for more money than Carnage's first appearance?
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
I'm just saying.
It is Carnage.
It's a fact, man, but you know, it's like you said, it's just there's a lot of inconsistencies and just the way they're collecting. Yeah, that too.
Right?
Yeah, I mean,
X-Men Annual 14 is another one.
Yep, the 266.
Yeah. Like the 266 is a more desirable cover, though. You know what I'm saying? And that falls into that in that little category. You know what I'm saying?
So basically, what the article said at the end of the day was like, really, what you want to do is really put your money. If you're gonna put your money down on anything, it's gonna be the cover, even if it's a second appearance or first full appearance. If the cover is stronger, that's where the money's at right now, and it hasn't. But there are some inconsistencies.
See, there's one that I still don't get, and hopefully I learned today through you guys, is Jessica Cruz. You got Justice League 30, 31. You got the Green Lantern. What was it? The oversized issue. So what actual of the three is her very first appearance?
Her first appearance is in 30 as herself. There's the discrepancies. All right.
Is there like Cassidy, whatever the fuck the name is. And,
exactly.
It's one of those things, right?
Yeah, pretty much. So that's really what it comes down to, because she doesn't become a Green Lantern until further down the storyline. At 30, it's her. She goes through her moment of PTSD. That's what she deals with, and she's just in her regular what they what would you call it? Fucking human form.
Yeah,
she's not a superhero. So that's what they'll say it as. It goes the same thing with the storyline for Toxin. So if you guys ever read,
but the money is on 20 though.
Yeah.
Yes. Green Lantern 20, right?
Yeah. The money's on 20.
Yeah,
and
that's what I'm saying.
And with the new way we're doing it, it's not just first print, it's not just second print, but do you have the second print digital copy
or the combo pack?
Do you have the combo pack? This is where we're at right now, bro.
Yeah, it is, and that's what I said, and it's just like Doom said it before. He's like, how come you look at Captain Marvel? How come that second printing isn't freaking worth more with the way that they're collecting now? Because you look at everything, but we're going all the way to like fucking 5th printings. You know what I mean? 5th, 6th, 7th printings, and then all of a sudden you get to those points where it's just like, why the hell are these being? Of course they're gonna order less of this shit. You know that is bound to be known. So why is it outrunning? And of course, again, there's some that like, for example, Noel. You look at how crazy, what is it, the 3rd printing or whatever, that's going for first appearance of Noel. Look how crazy that book is. And because Noel is on there, and it's actually an interior artwork that they just decided to take from there and put it on the damn cover and then call it a day. So it's just kind of like that's the habit of collecting. That's the way to collect. But I've had this conversation before with the guys, and I was like, if you look up the definition of a cameo and the definition of a first appearance, it absolutely makes no damn sense how they fucking label shit. And when it's all said and done, they always consistently say that all these grading companies grade according to what the hell the market wants. So you could easily go to CGC and just tell them, hey, this is the first appearance of freaking the Doom 143. And I could just send it in. And as long as other people are sending in the same information, they go with that. So it's just kind of like, for me, I said it should be up to the publisher or the writer, especially the writer, because they're the ones creating these new characters. They're the ones who have created these characters, and they can determine and say, yes, in this book right here is the first appearance. Look at how much Rob Liefeld was fighting because of that freaking Deadpool Spider-Man crossover. And because you saw, what the fuck's his name? X, whatever the hell his name is. He's just freaking going around a damn tornado or whatever the hell he was in. And they were saying, that's the first, and so.
Yeah. And that's why nobody in CGC, CBCS, fuck, even PGX, they will not change 180 to be the first.
Never.
They will not. You know why? There's way too much money in 180, 180. So much money on it. Yeah. Now you're gonna be like, you know what? My bad.
Oh yeah.
You're not gonna do that 40 years later. Oh, my bad.
That's true, man.
I mean, there's so many books like that. I think Joker, the Batman Who Laughs Last, Teen Titans 12 isn't his first appearance.
Yeah, I know that. Snyder. Yeah, Snyder said it himself.
But you look at the cover.
Yeah, exactly, and that's it. And once again, it's like you're letting these companies that you're supposed to be 100% legit. This is why I said they need to have something set in stone. They need to say, hey, we are going to go according to the publishers, not according to the fucking market. They need to be exact.
And see, that's hard. It's hard because take a look at what we're doing. We are collecting.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So the idea behind collecting is what? It's supply and demand.
Supply and demand, yeah.
Right? So fucker. So it's supply and demand. So and demand will always trump,
Yeah.
So, demand will always trump that. So I even though I agree with you that they should have some kind of thing, it's hard. It's hard when it's obviously because we're the market. All 60 people in here, us and the thousands and thousands of people outside, we're the market, right?
Yeah.
And then, so that becomes, it is what it is. Unfortunately, I hate to be that guy, but.
No. Yeah, we all know that, it's just like you said it before. There's so many other things, like you have ASM 298. I will 100% go with that book all day fucking long. You know what I mean? Versus freaking 300. So now people will be like, oh no, well, I want to go with 299, and it's just kind of like.
So why not Marvel? Well, so why don't you go with Marvel's Previews 95?
Oh gosh. Listen, that's another one right there.
Because it's a preview.
That true fucking first shit. That shit drives me fucking insane. Now it's like you're just fucking reaching. You're like fucking Sylvester Stallone reaching for that last rock and fucking cliffhanger. And you're just like, you're just overstepping your boundaries. But for me, I mean, it goes the same thing with Miles Morales, man. Look at that preview book. how much that shit's going for. It's insane. And then it's just like, but then once again, what does it go down to? It goes down to the influencers. All right, Comic Tom's bullshit where he's like, okay, this is the first true appearance of fucking who was it that they were having a fucking and X-Men and talking about Hellboy because he appeared on a motherfucking poster in a movie theater. And now all of a sudden everybody, I was like, that to me was the dumbest fucking shit on earth. I remember reading all that stuff and just I was like, here you go. Here's a giveaway, guys. Who wants this? And if somebody, I'll throw this in your pile. But then it's just kind of like, now you're making it stupid because now you're trying to reach for content. So in order for you to reach for content, now you're going to go that extra mile. Like I could go all day long and say, okay, guess what, guys? I got the previews magazine right here. This is actually really the first appearance of blah, blah, blah. Now everybody goes and fucking is like, oh, I got to get that because that's really the first appearance. Then at that point, what are we going to do from there? We're going to go, like you said, how many advertisements were there for Hulk 181?
Yeah.
A gazillion of them. All over the fucking place. So it's just like, what are we going to go to that now and be like, nah, this is really his first appearance of Wolverine. And just, that just goes overboard, man. It's fucking crazy.
Josh, where are you at in all of this?
OG. Yeah, Josh, what do you think?
Sorry. I'm
Doom 143.
Way.
Yeah, Josh, we're gonna highlight you now. Yeah, go ahead, Josh.
Sorry, I'm way behind on getting some orders out for people to CGC, so I'm kind of doing two things at once here. Where am I at with what? Which sections?
True first. True first appearance.
True first.
With big strong men.
Yeah, no.
Like Colossus.
Big strong men. True first. There's some that obviously I don't agree with, and some that I do. But unfortunately, right or wrong, at the end of the day, the market determines what it is. Unfortunately, whether we like it, whether we don't, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think Teen Titans 12 is the first appearance of the Batman Who Laughs, but the market says otherwise. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. It's why worth fighting it. I mean, the way I look at it is, I just try to get both of the books that are,
smart
fighting for the number one spot, and that way you'll never be disappointed.
Yeah, just collect everything, man.
Well. If you can, I always collect what you read first or what you like first. That's my.
That's so hard to do.
Yeah,
that's one of the common sayings out there. Collect what you like. It takes a while for someone to actually come around to that.
Yeah.
You really have to if you want to collect what you like, you can't be on YouTube. You can't be on Instagram. You can't be on any social media stuff because you will not collect what you like. Then you'll collect what you like.
Well, I'll tell you this, and this kind of goes back to what you guys were talking about earlier, is with the whole spec game, and this is something that I've tried to learn because it's very hard for me to let go of my books because I really only collect what I like. But I mean, obviously, I'm in the spec game too, as is a lot of people. And, I've been slowly learning is, yes, spec on the things that you like because you're going to read it and you want it in your collection, but also spec on some things you don't like because it will be easier for you if you're trying to flip this. It'll be easier for you to let go. Obviously, you can't spec on everything. I mean, otherwise, you'll bankrupt yourself, unless you're, a millionaire several times over. I don't know. That's just kind of the way I look at things.
Yeah, like I understand what you're saying because me personally, I have a budget in my mind of how much I'll purchase the book, and I'll never go over that budget because I don't want to be stuck. What you said earlier in a bind, and collecting a hobby, you have to make sure that you have a certain limit to be enjoyable. Because if you go reach past that limit and you're hurting, and it causes relationship situations, life situations outside, and then this is not a hobby no more.
Yeah,
something you're doing just because you're doing, and that's one reason why, a lot of times, I take a step back from auctions or from videos. It's not because I don't support any of the guys. It's because I don't want to get that FOMO. I don't want to get that situation where I'm gonna have to buy that book. Here I go spending $60 that I shouldn't spend because I'm watching somebody else, and it happens as a collector. It happens, and like Thoro said, or they said, we do it we do it, and we'll do it without thinking because we're collectors. We want to get that book. I'm not saying get that book for that outrageous price. I get it before it's hot, and I take a step back and say, you know what? Why am I getting this book? I don't even read this book. But then later down the line, it becomes a book that's hot. Someone in the community needs it or wants it. I don't want it no more. So here you can have this book. I'll trade you a book that I want or something to fill it. So it's the ways that you can work around it, but don't bite your own hand, because then you're hurting. And that's one thing I agree with Josh says. Be patient and be smart about collecting and what you're going to get purchased. And that's what the dude was saying when it says buy what you want. It's hard. You have to be smart about what you want to purchase.
Exactly. I mean, and even in specking, man, going back to specking, it's like this is an expensive thing if you don't know what you're doing. You know what I mean? Yeah. You waste a lot of money on that. You know what I mean?
See, the thing when you speculate, it's if you're listening to somebody, exactly, you're probably already late. Yeah. The reason why somebody gave out an information is because something came out. You're not doing your homework. Like Thoro now said. You're waiting for somebody to give you the information. If you're gonna wait for CBSI's top 10 on Friday, you're kind of late, because the reason how they get the CBSI is they look at sales trending. And whatever is trending, then they'll put it on the top 10, and then they'll do some investigation as to why these books have been trending, and this is why we're going to put it on the top 10. But that means you are about 2 to 3 days late. So my thing with speculating is this. I know you guys didn't ask me, but I don't care.
Say it, bro.
No, I'm just messing. So to me, there's a couple of things. One, you got to know if you're doing a long-term or a short-term thing, and then what is your goal? All right. So at the end of the day, what is your goal? Here's the thing. If you're a reader, that's fine. And at the other end of the spectrum, if you're a flipper, that's fine. I respect all of you guys. I respect the guys that just want to read. I respect the guy that wants to hunt and find the specs. And I respect the guy that just wants to flip books all day. So I respect all of them in a sense, because they're still part of the community. But to me, it's like, you got to figure out, is this long-term or is this short-term? And some of the specs that comes out will be short-term. For, I think, Oblivion Song. I think they just came out this past week that they're going to officially do the movie. And this was something that came out about a year ago, and then there was nothing about it. And then they came out again, and they're like, this thing is going to get made again. I don't really know how it's going to do well, but it feels like a short-term spec. So you go out, see if you can find it. If they do make the movie, guess what? It's going to be worth quite a bit of money, probably more than you paid for, hopefully. Hopefully you get it for a cheap price. They come out the movie. Everybody's going to be talking about it. Boom, you can sell your book because you're not into it. Just like Umbrella Academy or whatever, right? But then the long-term, there's also the long-term side of things. And that to me, what is that? Oh, shit. Is that
the Oblivion Song, right?
Yeah, this is the 25th. I'm on issue 120, but this is the one that just came out about. I say I have this on my pull list. So this is one of the books I do read.
Okay, yeah. So perfect example, right? So Gomez is more into this as far as like he enjoys to read, right?
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, what was the most recent thing that came out about a year or two ago was the fact that there's a lot of Hollywood writers. They don't know what the fuck to write anymore.
Yeah.
So guess where they're turning their faces to? All comic books, especially independent stuff. And Hollywood is also seeing how well all these superhero movies are doing. So to me, that's more on the long-term spec, where it's like, you know, I think we as collectors, we're always trying to chase things that was in our past, you know? And so where are we now? You have to visualize it ahead and see like, what is the future? And so for we had these movies back in the day. It was called Star Wars. And and that was my past. There was a cartoon called Transformers. Yes. There was a cartoon called X-Men. This is my past, and now here I am, kind of almost in a sense. So where are we now? And this is where we need to be if you were going to be in the long term. Where are we now? And I think I showed a comic book. I forget what was the name of the book I showed. I think it was called Outsiders. And there's a variant, and it has all the new characters in Marvel now. And to me, I was making a joke on the side, is if you buy every single character in Outsiders #1 variant, I said you'll be fine. You're gonna be fine.
Outlawed is
Outlawed.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. Outsiders is something else. So yeah, you buy every single one. Yeah, don't. See,
Doom was thinking about Ralph Macchio from the outside.
Pony Boy, Soda Pop.
Big strong man.
Strong man.
Yeah, so that's thinking ahead, right? That's more in the long term side of things, and I think that's the biggest thing. You got go ahead, please.
No, not to cut you off. I mean, when I definitely that the long term and short term is definitely valid, man. Because but sometimes that's a gamble too. Because not to bring him up, Arc, man, he definitely look at those Miles Morales he picked up on Five Below. Those what's those variants that came in the pack?
Ultimate Fallout 4.
Yeah, look how much they're going for now. I definitely that was a character for long term, and he ended up selling them before that. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't. It doesn't matter about what you make or whatever with the book, but definitely like it was the wrong time for him to sell. I think because that book just now is way high. You know what I mean?
And like I said, what is your goal? If you go to Five Below and you buy a pack of comics for $5 and you make whatever X amount of money on it, right?
Yeah.
If Archangel's goal was to make money, then he did exactly what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
He shouldn't feel bad that, if I waited another year, I could have made another $1,000.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Do you know what I mean? Like, did you make? You did your goal? Your goal was to make money. Yeah. I mean, we can. Dude, I bought Hulk 181 for $600. That's how much mine costed. I don't know if the guy is saying, "Shit, I sold that thing way too early." You know what I mean? But it's just it's all about what is your end goal. And I think Thoro was saying it. Go ahead, Gomez.
Facts right here. What my man Comic Brains is saying, man. Definitely, comics are basically day trading and stocks, man. Definitely. That's
the only thing that sucks about comics versus stocks, though, is that more than likely we're only buying one or two.
Yeah,
true.
And there isn't a guarantee place where I can sell it on the spot. So, for example, right now I think I have about 17 shares of Amazon. I bought them at about $1,000 each. They're about $3,000 now. If I go to my Fidelity, I can just sell them right now. I'm not waiting for a bid. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
I'm not waiting. That's the only problem is like you don't have that access. It is like stocks in a sense where if you're looking at long term, it is an investment. And you'll notice anytime our country does well and our money is worth a lot and stock investors are doing well, all of a sudden you will see comics go up the roof. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but a lot of comics been selling like no problem. And if you look at our stocks within the past 3 months, even though we're during this COVID-19, a lot of stocks have been going up.
Yeah, Apple
it's not a coincidence that comics will go up when the country does well and then the stocks go up too. Because these investors, they also invest in stuff like this. So I'm just saying, when it comes to speculating, really have that's why I like we're always chasing nostalgia. So that's why I was saying, like, and I said this a while ago, if you guys don't have DC Comics Presents number 26 right now, it's going to get expensive because these kids right now, these kids are going to be chasing Teen Titans Go later on. They're going to remember Teen Titans Go. That was a huge part of their childhood. Miles Morales is a huge part of their childhood.
Yes.
You know? And you think it's expensive now? Shit.
That's true.
I think Thoro was saying it. This is their Spider-Man.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's how you got to look at it because I've gotten into arguments with people who collect just Golden Age, Silver Age, and I said I get it. Understand that there ain't no wrong way of freaking collecting. In the end, like I said, you still can't push to the side all these new characters that are coming out because as I keep watching my daughters growing, you know, and if they get into comic books, this is what they're gonna collect. because you know how deep of a pocket you're gonna have to have in order to collect Golden Age and Silver Age. When my daughters are in their 30s, 40s, and things like that, it's gonna be astronomical. It's gonna be crazy. Who the hell, nobody doesn't just have $1 million, unless you're rich, just to be able to throw and say, hey, I want a Hulk 181. Because by then, these books are just gonna be freaking ridiculous. So you got to remember that these guys, all these kids that are growing up nowadays, yeah, Doom said it. I've heard Evrod say it. I've said it. Yeah, that's their Miles Morales. You got their Spider-Gwen. You got so many damn characters. The Teen Titans, man. I forever have collected that book because I said one of these days that book is going to take off. Yeah, I love the damn cartoon too. So everybody, these kids are watching this stuff. This is what they grow up with. And later down the road, as we get older, we're going to start seeing brand new characters even more. I mean, look at what James Tynion is doing.
Every month there's a new character.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's like you just never know. The whole thing is just finding which one of these characters is going to be the hot one, which is one that's going to have, that's going to be able to build a foundation and stick around for time to come. You know what I mean? Like that's why a lot of people, Riri Williams, everybody's investing. We're in a more, we're in a different state right now, in America as it is.
Diversity.
Because of everything, because of everything that's going on. So don't forget, like I'm a big collector along with Mr. Lett of a lot of minority characters. I love watching all that stuff grow because you never had the opportunity. You've seen every character that came out back in the days, yes, where they're primarily white, of course. And there's nothing wrong with that at all because I love every single fucking character. I don't see any difference. But one of the biggest things is, like, for example, you have Blue Beetle, you got Jaime Reyes, right? Awesome fucking characters, something that they're still talking about. They're talking about it because they see the popularity that was just gained from Miles Morales on as far as Marvel. So now DC is trying to say, hey, maybe we should start working on something like this. So to be able to see, a Hispanic superhero, a black superhero, Miles Morales was black and Hispanic. Dude, that to me was dope to be able to see. Now you have Asian characters coming out and you have so many all across the board that were never shown that love. And, it's just kind of like you're starting to see it, starting to come out now. And to be able to see all these, all these different characters, especially minority characters coming out, it's just freaking awesome. And everybody should be able to enjoy it all across the board. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But Easy E makes
I was about to say, I would highlight that right there.
Yeah. So he's basically saying that nothing has really changed, right? If you think about it. There's new characters all the time, but there's only certain staples within the comic collecting. And I think that's another thing too, where you got to think short-term versus long-term. And you, like I said, if you're just a reader, this doesn't even really apply because you're just enjoying comic books, you know? But what I'm saying is if you're a person that kind of has a little bit more control, not control, that's a bad word. If you're kind of trying to like adjust your comic collection a certain way. That's why I said, hey, never be afraid to buy a short box from your comic shop and label it short-term specs. Don't ever be afraid to have an empty box and that just says speculation on it. Because one day, maybe 2-3 years down the road, you might pull out an Ultimate Fallout 4 just because of something that you thought might happen, right? So, but anyway, so what he said is that basically not a lot of them are around. And the same thing is going to happen with this too. So when people talk about people like Null, right? Yeah, it's super hot right now. But just, it kind of makes you think, will these characters be around and how big are they going to be? Because I'm sure Galactus was huge back in the day, and now he's just kind of around.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like Galactus is just kind of around, but then you have people like Venom, who's not even a bad guy anymore.
Anti-hero.
That's the thing with the bad guys. It seems like once they start getting popularity, they kind of adjust them. Look at like Harley. Isn't Harley like almost like good? To a certain point. I mean, it's kind of weird what they're doing, but so there's something to be said about like, you can't. I think Gomez said you can't just buy every single thing eventually, but like if you are the person, go ahead, man.
Yeah, real quick, exactly what you're saying right there. I'm gonna tag off on that, man. Definitely, if like Thoro said, you do your homework, and like me before, man. I used to be every Wednesday in Midtown Comics buying, thinking what's gonna be hot. Yo, dude, it got expensive. They got expensive, and I end up stuck with a lot of books. So you know what I'm saying. So definitely do your homework. because I stopped doing that shit. I don't do that shit no more. I don't go every Wednesday to buy everything off the rack. You know, do your homework and try to understand and see, read your previews, and read your books too. Sometimes that helps. You know what I mean? Definitely. You know what I mean? So definitely, like I said, main thing is do your homework and always, don't be the one that you're gonna buy every single thing every Wednesday, because that shit's gonna burn a hole in your pocket. Definitely.
Big time, man.
But
you
but there are some great long-term stuff. There's some good stuff, and there's some good short-term. You just got to figure out. I think for me, what is your end goal, and what you're trying to do. Like for first appearances on DC's, there's a lot of good stuff. I still think this Batman Who Laughs. I think I like it long term.
Yeah, I like it long term too.
I'm not too sure where I am with Punchline. And I got to be honest, I haven't really read anything, but I just think I'm not too sure. But that's just one of those things. Like, okay, you know what? I'll put it in the spec box. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I gained more respect for that character when I saw the IG digital comic that DC decided to put over Instagram. Mm-hmm. When I read more into that, my respect for Punchline grew, because I was one of those too. And then what's a big game changer, and I always got to shout out Doom for it too, though, is that to me personally now, you can never look at your collection as not having any value whatsoever. And you want to know why? One of the biggest game changers was like Warrior Nun. All right, you look at Warrior Nun. Who in their right mind thought that Warrior Nun would ever become a show, or who in their right mind thought that Warrior Nun would even exist on TV? From the comic books. So you always got to look at it. My wife says it to me all the time. Wifey's like, listen, just hold on to your books, because some of these books you just never know what they're going to turn into. And the reason why I'm giving props to Doom is he said it. A lot of these writers for movies are running out of material, so now they're turning to all these comic books. And to see all that stuff, you know what I mean? It's like you look at Netflix. Netflix is flooded with just everything comic book.
Didn't they buy that? Didn't they buy? What was it? Not Frank. Frank Miller.
Mark Millar.
Yeah,
they bought out all his stuff. All his properties.
So do you remember how? So that's the kind of So that's a great example of spec. That news came out. It hasn't been talked about since.
Nope.
If you're a spec guy, why are you out there trying to figure out what he wrote and just buying them out? You don't need to wait till 101, CBSI, Thoro, anybody. Sometimes it's just like, I hate to say common sense, but maybe just being eyes wide open. One of the things that I think Alex, or maybe Seeking Near Mints, said to me is all like, I think we went to a con together, me and Seeking, and we're like, damn, there's a lot of fucking Deadpool and Miles cosplay. Like we're just looking around, and then there's like Deadpool, and then every once in a while you see a Thor or whatever, but all the kids were in Miles. And this was before the before the movie came out, the cartoon came out. And we're like, sometimes your eyes got to be a little bit more wide open to these things. And like I said, only if you're the kind of person that's trying to adjust your collection to that stuff. I think it's always good to just buy the keys. That's how I actually Joker was saying he was going in every week. It's getting expensive. So that's what happened to me. This is what happened. On the wall of the comic shop I went to was the first appearance of the Falcon. And they had a pretty decent grade for like $70. My weekly pool that day on Wednesday was $70. And I was just like, I could buy this whole stack of books and read them and just enjoy it. Or I could buy that key issue right up there. Which should I do? And I was like this conflict of like, do I buy these stacks or do I buy a key issue? I might only have 3 long boxes, but fuck, what a hell of a 3 long boxes I'll have if all I do is buy key issues. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I was all like, I remember that was the turning point for me. And I stopped having a weekly pool. And all I did every week on Wednesdays, I would go to the comic shop and I would look on their wall and I would just buy one key issue, somewhere around 70. If it was 140 to $200, I would wait till the next week. So I didn't have anything. And then I would just pick up a key issue. That's all I did. And next thing you know, I had like about, there's 52 weeks in a year. So by the end of the year, I had about 60, 70 fucking, key issues.
Yep.
Right?
I got stuck with plenty of them, dude. Plenty of them. Now that they don't go for shit, they don't do nothing. So
Yeah, and that's how it is. Go to any comic shop. Look at all their back issues. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't go for nothing.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Well, what do you think? What do you think is the percentage of books that actually make it? Like 1 or 2% of the books actually? I mean, I don't know.
Or they're hot and then they die down about 6 to 8 months.
Yeah, and then that's why I said you got to know if it's short term or long term. It's just like stocks. It's exactly like stocks. You know, stocks like Uber and freaking Walmart and Coca-Cola and Amazon. These are all long term.
And
these are all long term.
Like a month ago, Miles, was hot, like hot.
Yeah.
Hot, everything Miles. Now that Venom came out, that got hot. Virus and all that. You know what I mean? Next thing right now, to me, what I'm looking at, Thor is going to be the next hot thing coming out. You know what I mean? What do y'all think is going to be the next hot thing? What do y'all think?
Thor, Black Winter stuff. Everyone's banking on. That anything that Donny Cates touches is just going to be the next null. And why shouldn't you bank on it? I mean, the guy's got a great track record.
So
Strange Academy. Look, Strange Academy.
Yeah, so for me, I'm kind of more long-term right now. And I think I mentioned it. I think right now, one of the biggest things you can bank on, and I know you can't pick up everything, but we were talking about that there's no Stan Lee, unfortunately, with us anymore.
Yeah.
Oh. So who's the next big person that you bring into a con that has, well, I don't think anybody can ever have an impact like Stan Lee, but the closest to it. And I was saying Neil Adams, right? Yeah. So why wouldn't you think Neil Adams stuff would be such a big thing? And that's just, I know it's super broad. I know it's a broad suggestion, but I'm just saying like,
well, Chris Claremont. He's Claremont too.
Claremont as well. And he had a fantastic X-Men run. And so, stuff like that. I think more long-term, I like Damian. I like John Kent.
Me too.
I like Moon Girl, Miles Morales, Spider-Gwen, Sam Alexander, Riri, basically all the champions. They heavily promote those three, especially. They promote Miles a lot. They promote Sam Alexander. They promote Spider-Gwen and Kamala Khan more than any other character. So there seems to be a push there.
It's all these new generation characters for the kids that are growing up now. That's the long-term spec game. Like you were just saying, Kamala Khan, Silk, Miles, all these minority characters as well. Spider-Gwen, even though she's not a minority, but like those are going to be the ones to bank on for the future. That's what the kids growing up now, that's what they see as their Spider-Man is Miles. And I forget who said it. Is it Erod or Biggs that said, years down the line when they want to, come back to their childhood, this is who they're going to want to, these are the books that they're going to want to pick up.
But I also think because of the Avengers movie, these characters in the Avengers movie will still have a staple down the road. Because like I said, my son was, I don't know how long the Avengers been playing, but I feel like it's been a while. We're going on to this next phase. My son's only 10 right now. His Captain America is Steve Rogers.
No.
I'm just saying, his Hulk is the original Hulk. So they will still have a staple because so even though there's all these new characters coming up, I think because of the Avengers movie, the staple is still always going to be the staple. If you understand what I'm saying, the key people will always be. So these, especially Thanos. If there's for some reason why Thanos books would go down because the movies are done, great time to pick them up.
Yep.
Great time to pick them up. I remember Lex Luthor. I don't even know nothing about Lex Luthor, but I remember from all the movies and stuff, Lex Luthor. And then now, like, oh shit, this is like the main guy. I didn't even fucking know it, go ahead, man.
I wanted to just quickly give a shout out to the chat, man. Thank you guys for joining us. And let's before I start wrapping it up, man, I really want to highlight one of your videos, Doom, that you did. It was a collection video, I think, for somebody's sub contest.
Splash Page 64, is that what it's called?
Yeah, Splash Page. Dude, when you showed off your collection, man, and you did a little tour showing off your, how you had your little setup, your display of your books, man, I found that amazing, bro. You like, if if you could drop the link over in the chat, man, so everybody can see that, that'd be dope. If not, then after this, guys, everybody's YouTube channel is on the description.
Yeah.
Tune into the Doom and try to find it. It's Splash Page Comics. I think it's a something contest. I don't know how many subs.
It was a 300 sub contest.
Yes, look it up and definitely yo, dude, the Doom has a mean collection, bro. He has a mean collection, and give that a view because that right there, it shows how my man's collection and how he broadens variants from his Silver Ages too, because he has Silver Age books too. You know what I mean? So give that a follow too, man. Give that a check out. I mean, classic character.
Yeah. That was actually one of the reasons I actually kind of stopped making videos, was because I don't have that shelf anymore. I don't have. The funny thing is, I have a bigger house now. I have a bigger house, but I don't have a space for the shelf.
Yeah, he just dropped the link, guys. Check that out.
I swear, there's something. I know it's nerdy as fuck and whatever, but if you have a family that's supportive, like my wife was super supportive. She actually made the shelf initially for me. So originally I had it someplace else. I was at work. I come home. She puts up these 2 shelves and she put it all up on what there actually is like dish plates, like plates you can display your dishes. Basically China plates holders, but I use it for the comics. And then she put it up for me. And then I just kind of tweaked it to, I guess, have it make sense. But there's something about coming home and seeing your collection. And if it's displayed properly, there's a sense of, I guess, like enjoyment and fulfillment and success as a collector versus damn, I got a lot of shit and it's all in my way. You know? Because you can have that feeling too of like, fuck, I got a lot of books.
Overwhelmed, yeah. Shit.
But if there's a way of just displaying it and just putting it out on the open, like you don't. So here's a funny thing. If you got to go, I'll end with this story real quick. But so the reason we moved is that it was a brand new apartment, a brand new condo that just came up in Hawaii, and in our bedroom, and it wasn't because of me and my wife, but the wall started to crack, and it slowly started to. They said that the foundation was settling, and that's why there was like this crack on the wall. I thought it was me and my wife going at it, but I guess not. So as I think this crack started to develop, and so what happened is the people that came in that owned the building, and they used to have to pass by my comic collection, and they just had like this. They didn't even know nothing about comics, but they had like a huge appreciation for it. So even when people come over, and thankfully, this culture is a little bit more accepted than it was back in the day. You know, people have this real big appreciation. People are coming to us now for like, oh, so what is that gold outfit that Wonder Woman is wearing? And we're the ones that can kind of, help them out and stuff. I remember when that X-23 movie came out, people had so many questions for me. I felt like the biggest nerd, but at the same time, it felt kind of cool. Yeah, there's a way to really appreciate it. So what happened is when I started moving and I have everything in my boxes, there was a lack of appreciation on my comics. It's just that they were just all in boxes, and it's just like, I don't know. Like I knew what was in the boxes, but without actually having them out and about,
seeing them. Yeah,
it's because you spend so much time and money, and trying to put together this thing, and if you don't put it out there on display, some kind of appreciation, you kind of almost lose the appreciation for it, I guess.
Yeah, exactly, man. But yeah, man. Great topics that we had, man, right there, man. We highlighted you, Doom. I want the new YouTube people that's on now to realize, that you've been in the game for a while, and you know what I'm saying, and definitely give them a sub up. Everybody's channel's on the description, guys. Follow up Gomez. Follow Doom. Follow Josh. Definitely follow. If y'all follow me, y'all definitely follow Thoro. You know what I'm saying? So definitely give us a sub. I put their IGs too, so follow them on IG too. Definitely, guys. So yeah, man, let's make our rounds, man. Josh, man, your last words, even though you said a little bit today, but your last words, bro.
Yeah, sorry, man. I am so far behind on pressing and cleaning books and sending stuff out for people. I'm trying to do like a lot of things at once. I don't have the time, man. So I apologize for that. But I was listening the whole time, and obviously you guys keep me entertained the entire time. But thanks for having me on again, and I'll see you guys. So is the show? Is the show still happening tomorrow?
I'm gonna hit up Biggs, and we'll find out later tonight.
Okay,
right.
So maybe you'll see me there, maybe not.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
But if I am there, I won't be doing two things at once.
Gotcha. Yeah, so you give your full undivided attention
my full undivided attention. Yeah.
I respect that. All right, cool, man. Yo, last words, Thoro?
Oh man, nothing, yo. Appreciate you having me on here, for my cameo, first appearance, whatever the hell it is. I don't know. But now, other than that, no, shout out to the Doom 143, man. Of course, one of the OGs out here when it comes to comic book collecting. Definitely go and watch my man's videos, yo. This is one of the very first guys that I actually watched when I was watching everything on YouTube. Of course, the Warriors, that learned so much from them. A lot of knowledge. Other than that, yeah, just stay tuned for the next set of spec videos, man. Speculate your own way, do your homework. Say it time and time again, because we can all speculate, man. You can do it all day long and just stay ahead of the game. That's the whole reason why I come out with these. I'm not coming to you guys with a list and then all of a sudden be like, okay, let me go ahead and buy all these books and then tell you guys, yeah, this is what's on the spec list. Nah, listen, all the stuff that you guys find on there, I just tell you, listen, a lot of this shit is just sitting there for somebody to collect and buy. I don't care if you flip, you do whatever, man. I give props to everybody for whatever you do. If you collecting for reading, for flipping, I don't knock anybody's hustle, man. That's on you, But yeah, the last thing I just wanted to say is, man, keep up on your Star Wars game. See a Doom guy rocking his Star Wars shirt.
Did you see the shirt? Did you see the full shirt though?
No. Hold on. Let me see. Okay. I like it, bro. Oh man, that old fucking match. Dude, that old fucking match, bro.
Dude, I wear this shirt. I wear this shirt at a Comic-Con. People get so fucking they get so mad, dude.
Oh, the Trekkies. I'm sure they're not doing this. They're probably going like that.
They're just, nothing like seeing nerds getting fucking mad.
Yeah, and
nothing.
Man. That shit's hilarious.
Shout out to my man King of the Golden State. Yes, man, I hit 900. If y'all guys are not subbed up to me, sub up definitely, man. Turn on your notification bells to get notifications on whenever I go live, when we do our East meets West, when I do my auctions on Wednesdays, or when I just do an unboxing or whatever, you know what I mean? Or my old school hauls, man. I need to get back to my old school hauls. I really enjoy watching the old school hauls. So I'm gonna see if I do one. So definitely sub me up, guys, if you're not subbed. All right, guys, and the Doom man, last words, bro.
Yeah, like I said, just thank you for having me here. It was nice just talking, not having to worry about selling any books, just kind of getting on a podcast just to talk. You know me, man. I could just keep talking forever. But thanks for having me. Okay. And to the people, like I kind of just going off of what you said, it's just like, don't be afraid to go back on other people's channels and just check back. Like I know you always want to watch the newest stuff, but like let's say Thoro has what do you call it? The speculation thing.
I just call it Savage comic book speculation, man.
Yeah, of course it's called Savage. Okay, so the Savage speculation thing that he has, there's weeks back, right? You don't have to just watch this week. He has different stuff every week, maybe twice a week, whatever it is. Don't be afraid to go back and check this stuff out. And that's how you can kind of grow your collection. Again, if that's what you're trying to do, kind of grow it differently. I started watching YouTube, watching the guys before me, and I wasn't watching the most current stuff. I was just watching whatever popped out. And it really gives you a sense of trying to build your collection and knowing what's out there. As far as speculating on the week, like Thoro said, you can do this on your own. There's great websites, gocollect.com. They have blogs. CBSI is another one. But but the FOMO, like, it's hard for me to tell people not to have it because I know it's real. But
everybody goes through it. Everybody.
Yeah, everybody goes through it. But I think one thing is good is trying to figure out why a certain book is going and if it matches your collecting. Exactly. You don't have to necessarily pick up something just because it's hot. Like, does it match what you're what your goal is? I just fell into the trap this week. I picked it up. I picked up the book for $100. I was lucky. The Metal Legends, the one in 25.
Nice.
Damn, nice. Bro.
And but when I was buying it, I was all like, why would this book be worth more than the first appearance of the Batman Who Laughs? Like, why would Robin be more than Batman Who? And while I was buying it, I was just like, this is the dumbest thing I just did. I pressed click and I bought it. Luckily, I got it under like $200 less than people are selling it right now. But I understand. So do a lot of research yourself, try to figure out what's going on, and you'll be able to stay ahead of the game for sure.
Definitely, man. Awesome to have you, Doom, man. Definitely knowledgeable dude, and we appreciate you here, man. All right.
Yeah.
And Gomez, man.
I'm going to highlight me, G.
I got you, man.
I know.
Check word, you got it.
Check the private chat.
I thought he was leaning forward to do a line.
I appreciate Doom coming, for a special guest. It's an honor. Appreciate actually for once, like you said, the auctions. Listen to his information of his own origin story, and I'm gonna give him away. I told my daughter drew this.
Oh shit!
Oh nice. That's dope.
Pay for you, bro. She did this the last 2 days, and then I remember doing the video, and my brother did this, and you're like, "Oh shit, I love his artwork." So I have always had this with me.
I remember that.
Yeah, so this is going to you too, bro, just for just for something that you have.
Yo.
So this is yours as well. It's something for my daughter, because my daughter is starting to draw more. And I told her, you got draw something related to Doom. She worked on this. She painted it and colored it. So this is going to you, brother, just for like a thank you for being on the show. Yeah. Okay, brother.
That's awesome, man. You know what's so funny? You know how I got the name Doom?
Nah.
It has nothing to do with the Doom at all. I don't know if I ever told you guys a story.
No, go ahead. Real quick.
But yeah, real quick. So I used to manage a lot of retail stores, and right now it's more like the high-end shops and stuff. But back in the day, I used to manage like a surf shop. And when you work at a surf shop, you hire like a lot of kids, teenagers, and sometimes they don't know how to fucking work. So I used to like just stare at them and just wondering like what the hell they're doing. And then so all the upper management used to call it the stare of doom, because I used to just stare at them and just be like, what the F you're doing. And I remember when I signed up for YouTube my first time, it said like I needed a number. So those are the only 3 numbers I could think of. So that's how I got. That's how I got to do 143. But yeah, no, thank you, man. That's sick. That's really sick. I don't even own the first appearance.
That's a good origin to your name, bro. I never knew that. Look at that, man.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, I just because these kids, the teenagers, I just like what the like. They're just standing around, like not helping my guests. They're not saying nothing. They're not trying to tell them about the specials. They're just like standing around. And I was like, what the hell are you guys doing? And then you're like, oh look, it's the SOD, the stare of doom.
Yes. And well, again, man, glad to have you, Doom, Josh, Thoro, and always Broski. You already know, man. But real quick, man, my man Tivo reminded me on one of my what was it not the show that we did Friday, the show that we did with Biggs. He reminded me in the chat. He left and shout out to the comic fanatics, man. We got Ray Jr. and Marty, man. Shout out to them guys, man. Them dudes were literally like the first guys to do like a group like this and just go live and start talking. So shout out to the comic fanatics and shout out to Ray Jr., man. He got promoted from the army, man. One of the highest promotions he could get, man. So shout out to you, Ray Jr. And again, Tivo,
make him Blade.
They actually made him Blade, yes. But yes, Tivo, thank you for the reminder on that one, man. Definitely, man. Have to give the originators, you know what I'm saying? Props and respect, man. Definitely, man. And let's see what we have next week. Where we go? We have nothing planned so far, but we'll think of something and we'll let you guys know. Definitely, guys. If we do a special, we'll do a special again. Like we did Friday, we'll let you know. You know what I'm saying? Definitely tune in tomorrow for the New York Warriors show. We're not sure if it's gonna go on, but Biggs will let us know. Tuesday, the auction. I'm pretty sure that's gonna go on at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, guys. Home of New York Warriors channel. Wednesday is mine's. Tune in for that notification bell. You already know. Thursday, who that has his auction. Friday, we're not sure yet about that. So once we get there, we let you know. And then Saturday, not sure if it's Thoro BLC next Saturday, guys, for the auction. You know yet, Thoro? No.
We'll figure that out, man. We'll get to figuring this shit out.
I feel you. I feel you, man. All right. But yeah, definitely, and it goes in rotation. Shout out to everybody, Wink Inc, man, again, man, for the 900 subs that you pushed everybody to do, man. Appreciate that, man. Yes, and Thoro, man, you was on that too, man. So appreciate the push, bro.
No.
So definitely, guys. Who else? Roger Levesque, the cranky Canadian, Principal Defects, guys. After this, tune in for that too, guys, because they're on live right now with their special guest, Very Gary. So great content on YouTube, bro. It's listen, man. Don't just tune into one thing. Definitely tune into other things. Watch everybody, man. If you like it, man, definitely follow them, sub them up, and support, man. That's all it is. Support what you like, bro. You know what I'm saying? So definitely give us all a sub up, guys. So and then that note, man, I'm gonna leave it just like that, man. And we're gonna end it, man. So later, guys.
Later.
Peace.
Shoots.